I would argue that Anthony Hopkins is actually the true antagonist now that I think about it. But
wait.
I'm just talking about like
he's crazy. He's just a crazy person, right? He has the dictator complex.
Yeah. It's just like when I look at this shit, we're usually like it's clear cut who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. It's not as clear cut in the show.
Well, Anthony Hopkins is the bad guy.
He's one of the bad guys, but so is Dolores is a bad guy.
They were created by Anthony Hopkins, right?
That's right.
That's true. That's
devices.
True. Yeah.
He's the general.
So that's what we got to figure out. Do we believe that Dolores has free will?
Or she just
that's the question going forward.
Or is she just doing what Anthony Hopkins is telling her to do?
And
that's the question.
And then the greater question, which hopefully we get to, is do any of us have free will? Are we all just computations and calculations based on the past things that we've dealt with in our life? And do these decisions that we make, does this decision I make to pick this water up right now, is that really a reflection of all these other interactions I've had in my life? Is my brain making it before I can even do it?
It's like the simulation theory?
Well, I don't know if that's...
Well, that's more Matrix.
That's a different one. The sim theories, I think, is different. This is you don't have free will theory, basically. Like, there's certain things you just can't stop. Like, if I scare you, you're going to be scared. There's nothing you can learn not to be scared, right? It's just a knee-jerk reaction that happens in your body.
Right.
But maybe, and they've looked at the calculations in your brain, like, you make something happens in your brain, snaps as fire before you choose to pick that up. So if that's happening before you choose, against your will, do you have free will? 1, and 2, are you responsible for anything you do after that? Like, are crazy people who kill people responsible if they're not making the choice?
I don't like this argument.
I know.
What the fuck?
I don't like this argument.
Think about it.
I don't even know where you went with that. You went from A to Z pretty quickly, though.
Okay, I'm trying to say this. Okay, if we don't have free will, right? So they've done these studies and they show that there are things fire in your brain before you actually do the action to take up some water or pick up your phone or say fuck you to somebody. Something fires off in your brain and then you do it.
Of course.
So the theory is that thing firing off in your brain happens before you're conscious of it. And then the action happens as you're conscious.
I don't buy it.
That's fair. If you don't buy it, that's fair.
This just how things work?
Well, if that... So
your brain does something and your conscious picks it, like, I don't know.
Right, so what they're saying is...
how life works?
Well, right.
So it's not necessarily... You can't argue free will against that. It is free will. Like.
Well, the people that would argue against it, right, like the Sam Harris folks, like they don't believe in free will, essentially, right? And they would say that if this thing happens in your brain first, and we do it unwillingly, it's just the decision has already happened. We think we're making it, but it's already happened based on all the interactions we've had in our life. For example, if I get bit by a dog, next time I see a dog, whoa.
But those are like moment-to-moment reactions, right? What about when you're placed in the situation where you really got to think about that choice, right?
So like 50-50s.
Yeah.
So that's the question. For me, that's where free will comes down to.
No, like...
I think there's free will just because I think you're faced with 50-50s and your brain lets you make the decision.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think that's what free will is, but I don't think we have free will with everything. I think when I bump into a guy, right?
And it's a reaction.
It's a reaction.
Of course. Because you always...
Sometimes you bump into a guy and he's big, and then you have a 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like fight, flight, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where free will is. I think it's a combination.
Sometimes, even when you interact with someone, if you're like nervous or whatever, it happens, and afterwards, you're like, why the fuck would I say that?
Yep.
Right? You're like, I've never said that in my life. Why would I say that?
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
So that's free will, or that is knee-jerk kind of
in knee-jerk reaction. That's, yeah.
Like we admit
that's a mechanism.
And we run on mechanisms, right?
But but the reality is our big life decisions, I think we are conscious of and able to go through the process.
I'm not buying this.
Okay.
Because you've never made a decision.
Let me throw... You didn't watch The Matrix. We can't fucking trust you. Maybe he's the one guy with free will.
Yeah. He's the one. That's why.
He's able to withstand the Matrix allure. The rest of us are like, dude, they dodge bullets by doing backflips. And you're just like, not buying it. I'm good.
He does back himself into a corner until he literally has to choose something. Yeah. So that might be free will.
No, I just think that's just like how we are. Like,
elaborate.
You can't just deconstruct how the brain and the body and how all that works.
Some people would say you can, though.
Yeah, it's called science. This fucking turned into like some religious zealot right now. What is it? You can't figure out the reasons for why we're here. That's not.
You can't just study the brain.
Bleeding out. There's nothing I can do to touch that. It's just It is what it is. I guess, good luck.
Hey, Cancer? Sorry, buddy. It is. Hey, listen, these things happen.
No one wants you to live.
You can't question every action a person does and be like, oh, did they mean to do that? Like,
So
I don't feel like you can question that.
Well, so that's the thing. We don't want to question it as society, right? Because rules are based on the idea that we have a choice, right? Like everything about punishment in prison is based on the idea that you chose to break the law, right? You
Yes.
chose to
Correct.
punch that guy.
Correct.
You chose to run a red light. You chose to park there. These are active choices you make. So I can slap you on the wrist or put you in prison for it because you were in control.
So I guess.
Wait, let me ask you this.
So if we don't have free
Okay.
will, we're just a prisoner
Alright.
to our own mind? Is that?
Well, now we get his spicy. You sounded like Wyatt.
I'm saying-
What's up, Wyatt?
Is that what you're saying? Is that what the idea behind this is? Is that what the idea behind this is?
That's exactly what he was trying to say. You walked right into it.
Like, here's the
He
thing.
threw it off the backboard.
Here's the thing. My answer to that is yes, no shit, but that doesn't mean we don't have free will.
Ooh,
No, but
okay.
we all. I think you've seen something where a person's unlucky because they find themselves in a situation where something happens and they're forced to react quickly, and the outcome isn't what you want it to be.
Right.
And like that person's like kind of fucked. Like right.
So, yeah, so I think-
it's like.
Perfect example might be like, let's say you're walking down, you're a cop or something. Man, this is a tricky example. That's a bad example. Let's stay away from that. Let's say, here's maybe an example. You're a soldier at war,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And you're walking, and you're walking into a house. You're checking the house. You're doing like not a raid, but a sweep or whatever it's called of the house. And you're told that there are people in that house. They might be armed, and all of a sudden,
Someone
girl
comes out, you shoot them.
a girl runs out,
Right.
And you shoot her, and then you realize she ran out and she just had fucking, some rugula, and she was just trying to, share some rugula with the soldiers, and then she made some baked goods. She made some sweets. There was some chocolate rugula, and there was some, maybe some strawberry and nuts and whatever rugula. So
Are you a strawberry or raspberry guy?
I prefer a raspberry.
I'm a chocolate.
You like strawberry?
No, I meant to say chocolate. I meant to say chocolate or like.
I like a fruit.
Yeah,
Rugula. Yeah,
chocolate.
absolutely. Because it's
I'm
too sweet
gonna go-
already.
I'm gonna go
It's-
with chocolate.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you really like the fruit, or are you just programmed to like the fruit?
No, Jack, I don't know. I'm telling you. I
what
don't fucking know.
At a certain point, you could just go insane talking about this because then you're like,
Yo,
this is, you're like, am I really
finish,
thinking about
to finish the idea,
Yeah.
right? It's like, so the idea is, was there something in that person's brain that made a decision to pull that trigger before he was aware of it? He might get punished for that, but did he have the choice?
Well, because
And do we punish people in those situations?
so his training, right? Like if he was in a simulation,
Yes.
like getting prepared to do his
Yep.
his duty, his job as a military man,
Yeah.
he's probably trained to go, oh, there's a threat, boom, right?
Yep.
So that's an initial reaction. That's like a knee jerk twitch muscle fucking thing, right? Is that his fault, or is
That's
that
the
right?
question. And so here's the thing. Now we're talking about consciousness, right? Maybe he get punished. Maybe he would. Would he get punished for that?
Depending on the situation.
Depending on the situation, he might get punished for that, right? So let's take it one step further. What if you're a person that we know is clinically insane? You have mental illness, you're clinically insane, and you kill somebody. Do we send you to jail?
There's an out for that. People plead insanity. And then there's also, you could plead temporary insanity.
That's
though.
right. I was insane just in this moment.
But temporary insanity isn't. Oh, it's not just for a moment. It's for like a period of time. You can't just be like, yeah, in that 10 seconds I lost my mind and killed
Sure.
a person. It's more of an extended range. You can't just say that.
But we've admitted that there are moments where we're not in control of our faculties, right? Like crimes of passion, you get a lower sentence.
Yeah.
Right? Because they've done scientific research to show
Yo,
you're
just
not
because you're
in
not
control.
conscious of it, you're still in control. Like there's a subconscious there that.
You come home and some dude's having sex with your wife and like it gets out of control and you hit him in the head with a bat and he theoretically. But I'm saying like you didn't want anything.
Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened, Marco.
It's like one day you
Tell
walk
us
home.
what happened. What happened to Uncle Vinny, huh? What did Uncle Vinny do? He comes home a little early.
Like, the problem was is halfway through I sounded I wasn't intentionally trying to sound stereotypical in that instance. And then as the words were coming out, I'm like, this is not
It was bat.
This is not-
You hit him with a bat. Like, why is there a bat there? No one has a bat in their house anymore. You got to go into the fucking garage.
That's actually from a scene from Bronx Tale. After they beat the bikers and the neighborhood kids run after them. and he's yelling at him, Mario, hit him with the bat. And that's what happens.
And I think you might have just proved our point here.
Yeah.
Again, no.
Wait. You were unaware of your choice.
Sure, it just came out. Yeah.
And it just came out based on the past things that you've experienced in your life.
It's like when I drink, my accent gets worse.
Dude, or
Which is the
better,
best.
depends
Or
on
better,
language.
which is the
best. Right? You start speaking some Arabic, and all of a sudden that shit is rocking and rolling.
Let me ask you this. All right, this might sound like a
Go.
All right, Chris Brown, right?
Yes.
He beats Rihanna.
Yes.
His excuses.
Hot takes.
Right.
I don't know where this is
No.
going.
Hot takes.